thick CA glue here. You can use any kind of CA that you want. Just put a little dab on there. Line up the little notch on the steering wheel. There we go. Now we have a completed dashboard. Now let's mount the dashboard onto, let's cap our CA glue so we don't get globs of it everywhere on our bench. It's probably the best idea at the moment. There we go. Okay, now we're going to use a little nut and a bolt, two of them, to put our dashboard onto our center console. And there's two holes here. Line up with the two holes here. And hopefully they'll go on. I'm going to run my screws through first, make sure that they're the right size holes, because I think they're a little small. We'll just enlarge those a little bit. Make it a little easier for us. Then we'll put the screws in the dashboard. And run those down. I've got some flashing there I'm going to pull off so it sits down smoothly without any bumps. Do the same on the second one. Made those holes a little too small, but that's okay. Alright, like so. And we'll put this down in here. If it's not fitting down on there properly, make sure you trimmed it right. The trim lines on some of these are pretty hard to see and to get right, so you're going to want to go back and revisit it if in fact you didn't trim it properly. Now we're going to put some nuts on the bottom here. And tighten them down. There we go. We've just completed step number 32. Now we have ourselves an interior for our Wraith. Looks kind of cool if you ask me. Nice job. Good detail. I see if a person is really into it, there's a lot that they can do by themselves inside. The other thing that I didn't do was put the stickers on the seats. You can do that if you'd like. I'm not going to. There we go. Let's get out all of our pieces and parts and get rolling on step number 33. Alrighty, step number 33 is going to be to mount the inside console to the left part of our frame. And not that difficult. You're going to see these two little holes here are going to line up with the two holes here. There's 1 and 2. Now I had to do a little extra trimming because mine wasn't fitting just properly, and I think that they're all going to be different, and it's going to depend on how well you follow your trim lines. but you're going to need to keep an eye out for that. Use your Lexi scissors and go ahead and trim out if there's anything that's not quite fitting properly. So we're going to go ahead and align this up and put our screws in. This should prove to be fun. Trying to hold everything for the camera and put the screws in, but we're going to give it a try. Put our screw on there, ready for battle. We're going to line one of them up. We'll start with the front. You can see the hole line up right here. We got to figure out how to get the screw in there. There we go. Kind of at an odd angle, but it's good. There we go. Just takes a second for it to suck up. And as I'm doing this, I'm going to look around and inspect it as well to make sure that I'm trimmed out properly and that we're not going to be folding up any of the Lexan. Okay. Looks good. Now we got to put the back screw in. I'm going to try it on camera, and if not, then we're going to do it off camera. I'm going to sneak the screwdriver down in through the side there. There we go. Takes a bit of pressure to get these screws started in. And this screw hole is a tad bit offset, but it's going in. There we go. Now we have completed step number 33. You can see that that's in there. Now we can move on to step number 34, and that's some more cage building. So we're going to go ahead and set this portion aside. Step number 34, we're going to add a bunch more of bracing into our main roll cage area. Just to get rid of some added dead weight, because I think he's been in there too long, he died. We're going to get rid of Mr. Bill for just a little while so that we can maneuver our cage around a little easier. A little bit heavy. Alright, so I want you to take note that we're using two different screw sizes. There's 6 long screws and 1 shorter screw. So let's go ahead and take care of the part first that uses that shorter screw so we don't have to worry about it anymore. We're going to take this brace here, which is 80076-1. And let's take note that there is an up and a down, and it looks like shock mounts here need to be mounted in the down position. So this is going to mount up to these 2 holes here, which are just above the battery tray. And it slides over, looks like it slides over the little battery, or the little shock mounts on the battery tray. And the short screw is going to go into the rearmost portion. So let's go ahead and put that one in and get rid of it so we don't have to dance around it. Okay, we'll screw that one in, and then we're going to mount the forwardmost unit with a longer screw. Just like so. This part's going to move along pretty quickly, I'm sure. The next unit we're going to put on is this unit here, and we're going to notice that the top portions here are longer than the bottom portions. And those are going to fit right in here, in these two holes that are forward of the dashboard. And you'll notice that there's some cutouts in the dashboard. We need to make sure that those properly align with the uprights on this brace. So we're going to put the brace on first, and then adjust the dashboard later on once it's all together, and we can make sure that it's fitting properly. So we're going to put our 2 screws in here and tighten it up. Kind of hides the dashboard. It was pretty cool. I'm amazed on how much bracing this roll cage has. Okay, we'll take a look here. You can see how the dashboard sets down into the little cutout there. It's kind of hard to see, but it should set right in there. We'll do any final adjusting later when we put the other side on to make sure it's all fitting in where it belongs. The next part, let's go ahead and grab this unit here. And there is an up and a down on this. We're going to notice that there are 2 nubs sticking up, and we're going to call that the top. And this unit is going to go into the forwardmost hole with the nubs pointing up. Is that right? It is, with the nubs pointing up and these tabs pointing forward. That's going to go in to this unit. Get the double twist going here to make it go in quicker. At the end of the day, again, we're going to want those nubs pointing up and this pointing forward. Okay, we've got 1 unit left here.